checking out. Oh yeah, didn't tell you that part. I'm checking out. So, here we go. Hey guys, welcome to another vlog. I'm your host. As you can see, the boho braids are gone, so we're working with a silk press, and you know, we're making it work, we're making it cute. But that's not the story today. The story is story time about my Ghana trip. I filmed the whole thing for you guys and I lost the footage. Well, I didn't lose it. I uploaded it, but I didn't really upload, so it's gone. So I gotta do this all over again. I did this a long time ago. In a nutshell, I'm just giving you a little quick rundown. It's not gonna be long. This is basically just to educate you for when you guys travel anywhere. It doesn't have to be to Ghana, just anywhere, period. So basically flew to Ghana for Detty December. When I got there, I was full-blown sick like a dog. So basically the day I left, because it takes 2 days to get there, yeah, a day and a half, I don't know, something like that. So when I left, I was having the sniffles, like, you know, feeling like symptoms of a cold coming on. So by the time I got there, I was sick. Not sick, but like, oh yeah, the cold is coming on. Like, I was feeling like the shivers, the chills, and in a hot country feeling the chills, you know you're getting like a fever and whatnot. So got to my hotel, they checked me in. It was like a Airbnb, we'll call it, because it's like a long-term stay, and you get the kitchen, you get the living room, you get the shower, you get the bedroom, so you don't feel like you're just cramped into one hotel room. So basically, I'm feeling sick, so I'm not gonna like look at everything in depth. So anyways, I drank some medicine, the drink, went to bed. Then in the morning I woke up, I felt a little bit better. So when I felt better, I was able to scan the room a little bit more, scan my surroundings, and I'm like, these walls are dirty. Let me look at the bed. Looked at the bed, and to my surprise, I saw some interesting things, which I'm gonna pop them in right now. So, as you've seen, all of that stuff was a no for me, not for the money that I was paying. So basically, I messaged the host and I said, hey, I'm gonna be leaving, I'm not comfortable with the bedroom situation. And he said, oh, I'm sorry you feel that way. Let us know if there's anything we can do, blah, blah, blah. So I said, no, I would like to check out. I'm gonna check out tomorrow. Please let me know what time checkout is. They told me checkout is 1. Yeah, they said it was 1. So I said, okay, cool, thanks, whatever. And I said, and I'd like to arrange for a refund because I'm not just leaving without my money. I literally got there on the 26th of December and I left on the 28th. I did not lay back down in that bed after what I saw. Heck to the no. So now, side note, disclaimer, when I first laid in that bed, I laid on top of the sheets. Not that it makes it any much better from what I saw. Laid on top of the sheets and I had my own blanket and my own pillow that I brought from home. Because I travel with a like sizable airplane blanket because sometimes the airplanes are cold. And then I brought my own pillow in my suitcase. So that's a disclaimer. So now I message him back, fast forward, I message him, I say I'm not comfortable, I'm not staying here, I'm gonna check out. Please let me know what checkout is, let's arrange for my refund. He said, okay, I will let the boss know. The boss. So then now I messaged the man who checked me in and I said, hey, I'm gonna be ready to check out for 1 o'clock. He said, I did not know you were checking out. So then I said, well, I messaged someone on booking.com and they were responding to me. They said they're gonna let the boss know. And I'm like, are you the boss? And he said, yeah. So I said, well, I would assume who needed to know I was checking out knew I was checking out. And he said, yeah, I wasn't aware you were checking out. Why are you going through a third part, a middleman or something? I'm like, well, I wanted to be professional and I wanted to message through the website that I booked on. I'm not gonna message you on WhatsApp. That doesn't make sense. So anyways, he called me. So now we're not messaging. Now we don't have anything formally written because he stopped messaging me. So then I said, hey, yeah, I'm checking out because I'm not comfortable with the bedroom situation. He said, I can assure you there are no bed bugs. I said, okay, that's fine. I still don't feel comfortable. He said, is there anything I can do to get you to stay? Can I change the bed sheets? Can I change the duvet, the comforter, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, I'm gracefully gonna check out. I don't feel comfortable staying there anymore. And at that time, I already done booked my second place to go stay. And I need the money that I booked for you to go for my new place, okay? So he said, oh, well, I can give you half because I booked the room for you for this whole time. So I said, it doesn't say that on your website, that if someone's checking out early, you have to give them half. But you know, I said, in my mind, don't argue with him, just take the half and then deal with your credit card company when you get home. So then he said, I can't meet you today because it's gonna be, I'm far away, I'm 2 hours away, it's gonna take your time of waiting for me, blah, 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 blah. So then I said, okay, well, I could meet you tomorrow and give you the keys, you know, cash for keys. Then he said, oh no, please leave the key there behind the door. My cleaners are gonna come in and they need to clean. And then I said, fine, sure. I'm not gonna argue with him and keep his property. It's his keys. If you want me to leave it behind the door, I wanted to give it to him personally so he doesn't say that he didn't get them. But if that's what he wanted to do, I did that. So fast forward now, I check out, I leave the key and I go to my new place. I message him the next day that he said he was gonna meet me. And he said, oh, I was gonna, wait, let me see what he said. Hold on. I'm gonna give you the verbatim. Hello, when will we be able to meet? He said, I'm still here in the bank. They're giving me stories because it's a foreign currency, but they say they can sort me out tomorrow. And I said, worst case scenario, you can just get Ghanaian cedis and find a bank and change it to US dollars, because I paid in US dollars, unfortunately. For me, that's a loss for me because I'm Canadian. And you know, the Canadian dollar, it's so I said, just like when Ghanaians are traveling to the USA, they have to change their money over. So can you just do that? He said, sure, I had that option, but the exchange rate will make it bad business. I just said, oh, okay, because I don't have time to argue with you with your lies. I said, okay, we'll talk tomorrow about the results. Then he says, okay, sure, thank you. Now it's January 2nd. On January the 1st, I said, hello, is there any update to my refund? He didn't respond. Now January 2nd, I said, I see that you have not responded to my question. Question mark, question mark, question mark. And then he said, hey, sorry, yesterday I was super busy, so I couldn't check my messages too often. They managed to get 700 for me and left with like 300. In my mind, if I do 700 plus 300, that's only $1,000, and he owed me more than that. It was not $1,000 that I paid you, I paid you more. So anyways, by that time, when I messaged him that, I was at the airport and about to get on the plane. I just wanted to see what he was gonna say, what he's working with, because I'm not dealing with him anymore. So I came home. The day I got home, I called my credit card company and I put in a complaint. And it's not to say that I didn't agree or want to pay him for the 2 days that I did stay there, but I wanted the rest of my money back. So the credit card company basically told me they'll put in a claim. It takes 30 days to allow for the whole process. So 30 days passed, I called them, I said I don't have no results, what's going on? They basically said, oh, the notes here say give it up to 60 days. One day I logged on to my online banking and then I saw my balance. Does that mean what I think it means? So I called them and the man was like, and he was Ghanaian, the guy that answered, the online banking person. He was like, oh yeah, looks like you won the claim. So guys, basically the money on your credit card is insured. The money on your debit card, I believe, is also insured. But if I had paid that man cash, I would have never saw him again. I would have had to stay there. And I would be disgusted if I had to lay on that bed. I didn't want to lay on the couch. The couch didn't look too shabby itself. So would I stay there again? I feel like I would want to try somewhere else, but I stayed there. This is my second time staying at that building. The first time I stayed in a different unit and I stayed with a friend. That was my experience, but yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed my vlog. And what you guys gotta do is you gotta like, share, comment, and subscribe and watch my other vlogs, and yeah. Only thing I say